Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. But as you guys are probably aware, I do listen to the comments, the feedback, I try and take advice. But I think it's only fair that I do some good news subjects to put in there, so I'm going to do this segment. Right, first up, the best news of the week has to be the Grime Gran interviews. It's on the channel FTTP. It's with Risky Roads and it's his grandma, so I'm going to call her Granny Roads.
What do you reckon?
Your smiles changed.
That's definitely
because
changed.
of your teeth.
That's definitely changed. Man, I spent a big bucks on that now.
I can see you have. And
Anyway, what she's doing is she's going to interview grime stars that she's helped in the past, because she bought Risky Roads his first camera when he was a youngster, and this in turn created history for grime. He went on to record all the best grime artists in London. He's part of the legacy that is grime, and for them to revisit this for me was just hilarious. Her interview techniques are flawless. Her first statement is literally, yeah, you got new teeth, didn't you, Ghetts? A lot's changed, and that is just a typical brilliant grandma with no filter. But also it goes to show the diversity of the people that helped to build grime as a genre, and it showed that grime, it brought people together because people from all races could spit bars and relate through grime and pain. And Ghetts openly talks about bad decisions he's made in music, song choices and stuff like that. And throughout the whole thing, I actually laughed from beginning to end. Like, it was brilliant. Like, she should be after Big Nasty on Channel 4. I got good hopes for this, and I'd love to see Wiley on there, because Wiley would make an absolutely golden show. Ghetts is a perfect example of where a kid could come from and where he can go to. He's got a lot of body of work, starting with Rebel with a Cause, which 2000 and Life, Ghetto Gospel, Freedom of Speech, The Calm Before the Storm, Momentum, hosted by DJ Wookid, and also The Return of Ghetto. Because when Ghetts was younger, Ghetts would have been looked at the same as these drill rappers now. That he would have been looked at as violent, he would have been looked at as negative, and when I say that he grew as an artist, that's what happens. Because when you're living a certain lifestyle, of course all you can think about is negative stuff, but as your life improves, you start looking at life in a different perspective. So I think that Ghetts is a really good example of that. So go and check out Grime Gran's interview with Ghetts. Next up, I've got to give big props to Don Strapzy and the gang at SC Dons. They've done some amazing things for YouTube football. Like, I can't even explain. A phenomenon of YouTube Sunday League sort of football groups has been going on since about 2016. Papers say it started with like Palmer's FC or whatever, and they've got a hell of a lot of subscribers, and there's various other groups as well. But SC Dons have come along, and Don Strapzy smashed it. They've got 100,000 subscribers. They've been doing all sorts of good stuff for the community. They're giving the kids something to watch that's positive. Them, Don, Big G and Zach Ansar together as a team, it just shows a really good positive format. And now the fans are starting to come out in force. It's the Kent Cup against SunFC. They won 4-0. What they're doing is just positive, inspires the kids, and I'd love to see this up and down the country. I'd like to see this in Birmingham, and if anyone's doing anything like this, I will promote you for free as well. If you've got anything to do with anything positive for the kids to get involved in, because you don't want to smoke loads of weed and then go and play football after. You smoke less, you do better, you eat better, you sleep better. So yeah, it's brilliant. So big up Don Strapzy, big up SC Dons as well. That's some good news. And last but not least, we've got to talk about Likkleman. Likkleman is an internet phenomenon. Where did he come from? Wow, it's a strange story. He got famous in prison. I know you can't have phones in prison, but yeah, they do. He was convicted on a burglary in the Warwickshire, I think it was Rugby area. His real name, if I'm correct, is Adrian. That's what they said in the papers, because the papers went at him because he accumulated 60,000 followers on Instagram while incarcerated in prison from doing wacky videos, like he'd like box and stuff and jump into barrels of water, and I'm sure it was like they had a lot of fun. I'm imagining, but it also made me think: am I the only person that thought, wait a second, do they just send small people to the same prison as big men? Like, let's be real. Do you know what I mean? He's half the size. Like, some of the guys that are in these prisons are going to be like lifelong killers. Is that what they do normally? Like, it's a good job that Likkleman is, in his own words, little but gangster.
I got business, I still put man to bed. You can't train your drawbridge.
You won't say now, yeah, boom.
Get me? You
see later on, yeah?
Come on, tell him not to. Come on, cuz.
See later on,
Get me my done, M's, you get me from nuts, you've done already. You get me through the guys, through guys what do flying in the can. Who
boom. What? See later on.
I roll drillers, strap 24/7.
He's actually kind of hench. And from what's happened is the fame he's accumulated in prison, when he's come out of prison, Krypton Conan and Bouncer, they picked him up in like fancy sports cars and that, and he's been living life. He's befriended also Mist. Him and Mist was on Instagram having a good chat. They're going to link up and that and get some stuff going on. And then basically what's happened yesterday is he's turned up in Giggs' new video on SM1 channel called Baby. It's like a bit of a play on Austin Powers, so it's a bit of a piss take. They've got Likkleman's cameo in there, which is just hilarious. He's just dancing, and there's a lot of women in. Brilliant exposure for Likkleman, because people are going to be asking, who is that geezer? And then, for example, from that, he's going to get other work from that.
Two-stepping, dude's got it, two-stepping, then you step in.
If he keeps getting work from that, then let's be correct, he's not going to be involved in crime as much, is he? If he's doing positive stuff, if he's getting out of the streets, then he's not going to feel the need, for whatever economical reason, he ended up maybe getting involved in some criminality. That now we can move away from that, because when he's come out of prison, which is a reality that not many people speak about, as he spoke about on his Instagram live, is that he was in a hostel. So he's come from a hostel now to featuring in music videos, and he's gonna, and I wish him all the best for the future. And go and follow him on Instagram. I think he's got 100,000 followers now. So at the end of the day, if he's doing that, he's not doing crime. So to me, that's positive, that's good news. So big up Likkleman, big up Giggs, go check out both of them. That has been your little supplement of good news by Scarcity Studios. Drop a comment, any suggestions, any good story. If you guys suggest me more good stories, then I can put them aside and cover them as often as possible.
Come on, Mazalina. Blood, I don't even know about the flavours like that, you get me? Because I've been in a bin and that. Bro, yo, I had the flavours, it's a Mazza.
The mad thing for ya.
Alright then. What are you with? Who you with?
I'm just here with my guy Day. Good from the
What Day?
And the
Man
good
said
side,
Day, you know? Alright then.
Watching man now, look. Man,
Free the man them. Alright, man, I watch your my thing, yeah?
Man, I'm watching your thing.
What you saying, man?
Nah,
Man's
man,
got 5,000.
You know, man. I respect the thing.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Your thing ups.
Checking the new ring.
Yeah, man. That thing's saucy still. Yeah, you're
sauce.
different. You're different. You're different. Spillage.
Nah, we have to link up though, man. Different.
You get
bro.
me? Yeah, come on. 100, man. My thing.